All right, appreciate you guys being here. Obviously, really proud of our guys coming off the conference opener. I thought we played extremely hard there Thursday night. It was a game that there was some back and forth. Going back and watching the film, the thing that jumped out was just our effort, our passion, and just a toughness that our guys showed throughout the game. Not only the physical aspect, but the mental as well. That's been a big part of our growth, of what we've wanted to show, and I think the maturity of our team is showing up each and every week, and really like the way that our guys are playing the game. Still a lot of areas of growth. We've got to eliminate some of the self-inflicted mistakes. Still too many penalties. We had a turnover inside the red zone. You gave up some explosive plays due to some poor eyes at times, but our guys, once again, they responded. I think our special teams, special teams is continued to be a great strength for us. That's something we take a great deal of pride of within our program, and the kickoff return by Gabe and the 10 other guys that were on the field, I thought it was a critical point of the game. Glad to see Gabe named as Special Teams Player of the Week. It was just all in all, it was a complete win by our football team, and all phases showed up well. And now we go on the road against a talented Louisiana Monroe football team. This is a team, they're 2-2 right now. Their two losses come to Florida State and Iowa State. Florida State they took into overtime. We really played at a high level throughout that game. This is a very experienced group that we're playing against. You look offensively, I think they have 7 seniors, and then I want to say it's 3 juniors and then a freshman that's starting for them. But they're an experienced team up front. Their offensive line, probably the best offensive line that we played up until to this point of the season. They've got their quarterback as an exceptional player, can hurt you with his legs and his arm as well. Defensively, another experienced group. They are. I think their front 7 is extremely capable. They like to bring pressure. They're going to try to be aggressive in what they're doing with their line games and movements. They've got a couple extremely capable guys on the perimeter. They've got number 21. Their corner has 3 interceptions already this year. Is taking one back for a touchdown. They're a team that can really present some challenges and some issues. So we know we have our hands full. We got to have a great week of preparation and go and try to play well on the road once again.
Obviously, different team, but do you take anything from the game 2 years ago when you guys played them? Just kind of how to be aware of just how much they can sneak up on you on them.
Well, I mean, our guys have a lot of respect for this team we're about to play. We did play them 2 years ago in our season opener. That was such a unique game with the weather. We were playing in basically the remnants of a hurricane. But it was a hard-fought game. It was one that was back and forth, a very physical game. We have a great deal of respect for the athleticism that this team has, but also just the way that they're coached and the mindset that they bring into every contest. And so that shows up on film. We know that this is going to be a great matchup. This is a team that is playing at a high level, coming off their win against South Alabama, and we've got to prepare well.
Going back and looking at the tape, what do you think kind of led to some of Brady's struggles in that first half?
I think some of it was just we didn't get in a very good rhythm early. You got the first play. He made an outstanding check, and we had a 75-play touchdown. We come back and we had a TFL on our second play of the next drive, and then you just had an early mistake on a third down. But when you're not on the field, we only had 15 offensive snaps there in the first half. You want to get rolling early, and we weren't able to do that very well. I think that showed up in the third quarter, which gave him a lot of confidence going into the fourth. And he really carried us in the passing game there in the second half. I thought that was a critical part of the game. He played really well in a lot of the areas of what he had to do check wise. He missed a blitz and then had the turnover inside the red zone, which was a critical mistake, and that's something that we can't have. Even for the lack of production that he had to maintain focus and to finish the game, it showed a wonderful response, much like a lot of the other areas of our football team.
What's the status of Patrick Taylor? Is there a timeline for him returning at all?
We're still working through it. He is progressing well. I mean, what that's going to look like for the rest of this week, we'll get a better sense of it as we get probably midweek. We'll see where that's at. But I like what I'm seeing from him. Whether that's going to be available this week or maybe the next. I mean, that's still wait to be seen on that.
What about Coley Brooks? Does he continue to improve his recovery?
He's in the same boat. Both those guys have done a great job in the rehabilitation. Excited about where they are, but we'll get a better sense whether it's at practice or in the rehabilitation here this week.
So officially, have they both been ruled out for Saturday or still to be determined?
We'll see how this week goes.
You mentioned that you feel like the team really hasn't put a full 4 quarters together. How close do you think they are to actually get into what you guys want it to look like?
I think we're improving. I think each and every week we're playing better, but we haven't played a complete game yet, and so that's something that you're always striving as a coach to see. The thing I am excited about is I'm seeing growth, and as you get in the conference opener last week, especially against that offense, that type of team, there's always some unexpected things are going to show up, and for our guys to show the mental toughness, coupled with the effort and the physical toughness that they showed, that it's a compliment to where we are. Is it where we are hopeful to be this week? We want to be better. We've got to continue to grow, but I like what I'm seeing from this football team. We take a great deal of pride of how we improve throughout a season. So with a third of the season under our belt, I think we're in a good spot, but we've got to continue to put those things together.
Some accolades for you guys this year, obviously being ranked in the coaches poll, and then you got win number 30. Do you take a lot of stock in getting that 30th win?
I'm grateful for our players. I mean, these guys they play at a very high level. We put ourselves in a position to achieve success, on the field by how they work. It's the rankings are the rankings. Once again, we are appreciative that nationally our football team is respected and thought of in such a positive way. That really doesn't matter and really doesn't define who we are just because you put a number in front of our name. We've got to go and prove it on the practice field this week. We've got to prove it, come Saturday at 2:45. Because you are what you see, and that's something I always tell our guys, that every single day you've got to go out there and continue to showcase your identity with how you play. There's teams all the time that have a really nice number in front of their name, and they go out and they get beat because they haven't done the things necessary to play to the capability of what they are and who they are. And so we're still looking to see exactly what this team's going to end up becoming. But I like what I've seen in the first third of the season. I'm glad that nationally we're being showcased and well received by the people out there that put together those rankings.
In your 30th win?
Once again, it's good to have good players, and I like the direction of our program. I'm very fortunate to have the opportunity to coach this team and to get a 30th win. I'm glad we were able to win the games last Thursday, and hopefully we can move forward and get one more coming up this Saturday.
2 years ago, the offense you guys had was such a quick strike offense, scoring really quickly. This year, time of possession is probably the slowest you guys have had it. Is that not what's contributed to that, but what is it about this team where you guys have been able to contribute, even though you guys are still scoring big plays, but not maybe controlling the ball a little bit more than in years past?
Well, I think it all comes down to the identity of your team. In years past, we were very thin on defense. We were a defense that really had to pride ourselves on creating the takeaway. We were so young, we didn't quite have the depth that we wanted, so we had to live and die off the explosive play, in a sense, because offensively we were going to play fast. We tried to marry up with each other as much as possible. I really like the experience and the depth that we've been able to show defensively. I think our guys have grown up, they've matured. When you couple that with the special teams, unit that's playing at a very high level, being able to try to control some of the field position battles. with the time of possession. I think it all plays, it all goes hand in hand. We've had a couple injuries there on the offensive side that that are challenging. You sit there and you look at, we're relying on two extremely young running backs on an offensive line that is growing up. You're there before our eyes, but it's a learning process, and I've been really pleased with what I've seen. The things that I haven't liked offensively are some of the penalties and the long yard situations we're putting ourselves in. The turnovers, we've yet to have a game where we haven't turned the ball over. That's uncharacteristic of who we are, and that needs to get corrected, and that's something we're going to work extremely hard on doing. But when you look at the efficiency of our offense, you look at of how we're able to control a game, and that's something that I take a great deal of pride in. You look, one of the drives nobody talks about, but Thursday night we get the ball at 9 minutes and 15 seconds. We're able to put together 2 or 3 first downs throughout that series whilst eating up almost 5 minutes of the clock. That was critical in for us to be successful. And I love scoring plays quickly. The first play looked really good to me, but on the flip side of it, being able to put together some methodical drives where you take control of the game, it all has to marry up within your football team, and I think that shows the versatility of our program and our in our team.
Is it kind of interesting though, just because with 3 new stars on the O-line, losing PT, and being able to put together these successful long drives, is that just kind of showing how well this offense can mesh and do what it needs to do to execute?
I think it showcases the versatility, but also showcases the some of the things we've been able to do in recruiting, the type of young men we have in this program, their development. We're teachers. We try to bring young men in that have great talent, and then we try to showcase the best of their abilities in all that we do. If that means getting into 22 personnel and going right at somebody, if that means going 5 wides and throwing it around, we have the capabilities of doing it all, because this is a program that is built for playmakers. So as we go out there and we're able to get those type of athletes and bring them into the system, we're gonna tailor what we do towards their skill set. I think you see that in offense, you see that in defense, and definitely in special teams as well. That's something that to have our 9th kickoff return for a touchdown in the last 3.5 years, that's an unbelievable feat, especially coming to a place that hadn't had that in 20 years prior and had not returned one. It shows the buy-in and the ownership of what we're doing. I think Coach Limbo's done a great job. All our coordinators have done a great job of trying to tailor what we do to our guys, and then you see the payoff of that because our guys they believe in what we're asking them to do.
Your defense right now, especially in pass defense, I think it ranks tops as fewest yards allowed in the passing offense. What has impressed you so much about your defense to the start of the season?
Just the really all. How they're playing together. I think our defensive front is really coming along. We've got some experience up front. You look at O'Brien Goodson, John Wilson, Bryce Huff, a number, JoJo Dorsey, it's a number of guys, and then you brought in some newcomers. Everett Cunningham's making an impact with each and every day. Jalil Clemens is a young man that has really flashed at a high level, and so you take that with the experience that we have at linebacker, guys like everybody knew JJ, Tim, and obviously the role that those guys have had, but being able to move Austin Hall inside, and now you have Keith Brown, Zay Collins that have showed up at a very high level here early in the season. The depth of our defense is something that is a great strength for us now, and so that's going to help get more pressure on the quarterbacks. They're not going to be able to hold the ball as long, and obviously that helps the pass defense. But really, it all plays together. We've played some offenses that like to run the football, and so we've had to put a lot of pressure on our corners, and those guys have played at a high level.
Not to jinx you, but
well, thanks, and don't say it.
your penalties are down this year, particularly on the defensive side. Does that show the maturity of your defensive unit?
I think it does. There's still you look a couple weeks prior, we had a couple foolish penalties with personal fouls. That gets addressed. I think overall, we want to be a disciplined team. And you can talk about discipline all you want. It's got to show up on the field. And the personal foul penalties have really been reduced over this year, and it's something we've done throughout our time here in trying to focus on that. But there's still some of the false start penalties. I know you're talking defensive, but some of the false start penalties, that's got to get corrected. And we are. I like this team. I like this team in every phase, but it's hard when you put yourself, in a challenging situation behind the sticks, or give people, easy first downs because of a lapse in our focus. So our guys, they understand what we're asking them to do, and we just got to continue to do a good job of executing that.
I know you don't care about the polls, but the polls, contribute to, later in the year for the championship game determination. So you pay attention to it a little bit.
Well, yeah, to say I don't pay attention to it or I don't care, I love the fact that people nationally are talking about Memphis. I mean, it's when you sit there and every time that ESPN or any publication, they always highlight those top 25 teams. So I want our football team to be highlighted. That doesn't define who we are. Just because you're a top 25 football team doesn't mean that you can just go out there and go through the motions, because you will get beat. You will get beat quickly, and you'll be embarrassed. I believe that our program deserves to be thought of in a positive manner because of what we've done. But that does nothing for us coming to this week and the opportunity that we have. We got to show that we belong, and we got to continue to get better. And so to say that I don't care about it, I do. I'm excited that our program is recognized nationally. They should be, because we've got an incredible group, an incredible coaching staff, players, a wonderful organization in every aspect we're building. And so where we are, we're excited about, but that doesn't do anything for us moving forward. We need to improve and be better.
A couple weeks ago, you were saying how much you love Mississippi running backs, and obviously Kenny had such a great game. With Darryl, Kenny, and Rob, what is it about those guys from Mississippi that you're able to just identify and find and just allow them to blossom here?
Well, I mean, I like great players from wherever they're from, and the fact that Mississippi's right, obviously just a few minutes away, it's easy access, and we've been able to identify some tremendous young men, at the running back position. This is if there was one offense in the country to play running back in, this is one I'd want to play in, and just the way that they're showcased, not only as rushers, but also as pass receivers, and so we try to showcase their versatility as much as we can, the explosiveness that they have, and so it's been. I'm glad we've got some good ones.
And you've done a good job really just recruiting kind of these areas and finding these diamonds in the rough. Is that just credit to the staff and just you guys being able to find guys in maybe some of the bigger schools?
Well, I would say that a lot of guys we recruit are well-known commodities as well. And yes, we find some guys that have come in and been able to develop and maybe didn't have the recognition in high school or junior college that others do. But a lot of our guys have been recruited by some of the more notable conferences at times, and we've had to compete for them. But it's all about what we're doing and trying to identify the right fit, the right young men that can come into our program and succeed on the field, but as well as off the field. And then you get them here and you develop them. And so that's something that we take a great deal of pride in, and how we develop guys and able to move forward with that. All right, and I'm going to have one little announcement just so you guys know. So Sean Dykes is going to be out for the rest of the season. Sean, I want to make comment. I thought he did a great job. He had a knee injury there in fall camp. Really did everything in his power to get back and to play here in the early part of the season. Had a little setback this last week. And so, we've made a decision that he's going to miss the rest of the year as he continues to rehabilitate there. Sean has been a great player for us for the last 3 years. Somebody that's really developed and come on, just not able to play to the best of his ability at this time. So we're going to get him. We're going to get him healed up and be able to move forward. And then Cole Mashburn will also miss the rest of the season due to an injury, and he is going to. He'll be out for the rest of the season, but was really excited about what I'd seen from him in these first 4 games. It's unfortunate that for both those guys that this occurred, but it's just another opportunity for somebody else to rise up and obviously help this football team.
You've developed some good tight ends, obviously, with Cameron Wilson and the Tice, obviously. Is that going to be a chance for them now, kind of?
Absolutely, and it's kind of like what we've talked. Those guys have got a lot of work with Sean's early injury. He missed most of all the fall camp, so those guys have really come on. Cam Wilson's played, Tice has played, but we need them to take their game to another level because we obviously we love utilizing some 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. And, we got a great one, in Joey, and, but those guys, their opportunity is gonna be extended with the current situation.
Sean did not play in this game, just to make sure, right?
Sean, he did. He played the game. He was limited. When the game wrapped up, we knew that it was, it was a challenge for him to play to the best of his ability. So, we had a discussion over the weekend, and I think it's in everybody's best interest for him to continue to rehab, and obviously he has that redshirt year available. So, we're going to utilize that as he continues to get healthy. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.